A sheriff's office takes action after some employees poke fun at disabilities in a Facebook post. Plus, flooding continues to hurt the Midwest, with some floodwaters even reaching Boone County roads. And suspects charged for stealing thousands from a mid-Missouri store. This is KOMU 8 News at 6.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
A social media post making fun of people with Down syndrome led to 2 employees with the Montauk County Sheriff's Office getting fired. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain. Thanks for joining us. KOMU 8's Kasha Carriage is here in the studio with more on what the Facebook post said and how the county responded.
Emily, this picture was posted by Dylan Davenport, a jail employee in Montauk County. He referred to people with mental disabilities in a picture saying, quote, "It's a Downs party." Tagged in the post was Lieutenant Kevin Morse. Both have been fired. I spoke with the Montauk County Sheriff about what this means for social media policies. I also got reaction from those offended by the post. In a normally quiet town of California, the Montauk County Sheriff's Office heard quite the talk on Facebook. Viewers sent KOMU screenshots of the post, which have since been deleted. The employees appear to mock people with Down syndrome.
I myself found it offensive.
One Facebook user saw the post after his family friend, who has fetal alcohol syndrome, saw it and showed him. Tyler Davis went to high school with the man who posted the picture.
I immediately messaged him and I asked him what was up. And like 5 minutes later, he blocked me.
Davis's post has hundreds of comments and shares and even got his account shut down for a day.
I didn't want it to come down to this. I wanted something to be done, but this is just not a joking matter.
The Montauk County Sheriff says he does not monitor all employees' social media accounts, but the office does have a strict policy.
In our position, we hold the public trust. The public trusts us to do our job correctly. And when things like this come up and it tarnishes our reputation as a sheriff's office.
Davis says that although the Facebook post was offensive, he knows this post does not reflect all of law enforcement.
I'm with law enforcement. I support them, but I don't support people that wear a badge and do this kind of stuff.
Davis thinks the Montauk Sheriff's Office handled it very well and quickly.
The disabled can't defend themselves. They can't stand up for themselves. And somebody has to, and that's why I took it upon myself to do that.
The original Facebook post happened last Tuesday, almost a week ago, but it wasn't until today that the employees were fired. In the studio, Kasha Carriage, KOMU 8 News.
Flooding in Missouri along the Mississippi River is still affecting the Midwest, including roadways close to home. Here in Boone County, the South Smith Hatchery Road at the West Dothage Road Point is closed just north of Little Bomb Creek. The road between Soft Pit Hill and Gardner is also closed, and the bridge over Silver Fork Creek north of the intersection of Old Highway 63 and Lipscomb Road is closed to all traffic. Boone County Public Works asks drivers to use different routes and warns you not to move any barricades.
This flooding has been continuing for weeks now at this point, and it's still, of course, all along the Missouri River, over along the Mississippi River as well. The Merrimack River also flooding at this point near St. Louis, which is why you can see that green a little bit stronger. Otherwise, we're looking at Herman, still at moderate flooding. We have moderate flooding in Jefferson City, over in Miami. Major flooding still at Glasgow. It's been at a major flood stage for about 24 hours now. Since yesterday evening, it got above 32 feet, which is their major flood stage at this point. Now, the good news is these rivers either are currently cresting or have already crested, and then they're all going to continue to slowly go back down as we head through the week, but they will likely still stay above flood stage, which is minor flooding, above flood stage through the rest of this week. I'm tracking more rain in the forecast as well. That's coming up later.
Okay, Kenton, thank you very much. 5 people accused of stealing thousands of dollars in merchandise from a Dick's Sporting Goods and leading police on a weekend chase have been charged. KOMU 8's Maria Brace here in the studio with more on what happened.
Police responded to a call yesterday afternoon from the Dick's Sporting Goods in Jefferson City. The group of 5 took off in a black Kia and refused to stop for police. They even threw some of the stolen clothing out of the window. The suspects drove about 12 miles north on Highway 63. Police had to use a tire deflation device to stop the car just south of Ashland. Now all 5 are charged with stealing and resisting arrest. Police say the group stole more than $3,000 worth of clothing with apparel.
Just to illustrate the large amount of clothing that was recovered. A lot of it was brand new. Some of it was actually struck by vehicles that were on the road because there was some traffic on the road. But we believe we accounted for all the clothing that was strewn about the roadway at the time of the pursuit.
The suspects' bonds were set at $25,000 each. Reporting in the studio, Maria Bray, KMUA News.
Boone County deputies found a man accused of stealing a car hiding in an attic. Today, deputies used the tracking system OnStar to help them find the stolen vehicle and the suspect. The sheriff's office says Gary C. Skaggs stole a car on Highway 63. He's now charged with felony stealing and tampering with a vehicle. Skaggs is at the Boone County Jail and his bond is set at $14,000. He also had a warrant out for his arrest in Cooper County for property damage. Today, troopers and a helicopter helped the Miller County Sheriff's Office search for a man running away from deputies. He's described as a 200-pound, 6'4" white man with a brown jacket and black pants. It happened on the area of Lakeland Road and US 54. For now, they haven't found him, but they plan to keep looking for him. They're asking for anyone with information to contact police or the Miller County Sheriff's Office, of course, to report anything suspicious. Well, it could become harder to amend the state's constitution if one lawmaker has his way. KMUA 8's David Estrada joins us now live at the Capitol to tell us the idea behind the proposed change. David.
That's right, Emily. And Republican Representative Dean Plocher says it's too easy for voters in Missouri to approve or support changes to the Constitution. He wants to bring to the polls a proposal that will require a 60% majority vote for an amendment to be approved. Now, the Constitution here in Missouri right now only requires a simple majority for an amendment to pass. That is 50% of the votes plus one. Now, based on voter turnout information from the last November election, the proposed constitutional amendment would mean about 240,000 more votes for an amendment to be approved.
I'm very respectful of that. At the same time, I want to see things that are changing the Constitution be vetted a little bit more thoroughly, because we can't go back and just make changes like we can with state statute.
Last week, the House Elections and Elected Officials Committee held a hearing on Republican proposals to change the petition process. House Minority Leader Crystal Quaid says the proposed constitutional change could be a barrier for voters to engage in the governmental process.
Why is it just now a priority for the folks on the other side of the aisle? You know, one could argue that because of all the initiative petitions that got through in the last election, they don't agree with, as we've seen with multiple attempts to undo the will of voters.
But it could be years before you get to vote on this proposed constitutional amendment. As for Representative Dean Plocher, he says he wants to start a conversation on this topic. Reporting live in Jefferson City, David Estrada, KOMU 8 News.
A car fire near Lincoln University shocked students and concerned faculty today. Plus, how another Missouri life was cut short due to a fire.
And overnight tonight, we do have some passing clouds, or even have a slight chance for a sprinkle by sunrise. I'll tell you why that's happening. Then we have a warming trend and more showers, maybe even some thunderstorms over the next 7 days. I'm tracking it all for you hour by hour coming up.
One young girl had the first ever robotic kidney transplant. Lainey Culpepper had a rare genetic disorder and was on the transplant list for about a year until she got the life-saving procedure. She's Oklahoma's first patient to get the procedure done. The robot was controlled from a distance and removed the kidney from the donor and placed it inside Culpepper.
A new study says exercises like strength training may be the key to preventing type 2 diabetes. For 2 years, 100 older adults with prediabetes were tasked to do aerobic exercise, strength training, or both. Everyone was less likely to develop diabetes than those who did not work out. But researchers found just doing strength training seemed to be just as effective as aerobic exercise.